Hi everybody, Justin Feldman, Feldman Physical Therapy and Performance. And this week we are back with another great edition of some frequently asked questions, and we're talking this week to a lot of our runner friends, and we've got a lot of questions asking about some tips for treadmill running. So unfortunately the weather's changing, we're getting a little cooler outside, getting dark a little bit later, so people who are used to running, maybe getting that run in the morning before they head off to work, or running after work, it's getting dark earlier. So fall's here, nothing we can really do about that. And a lot of people, they nickname the treadmill the Dreadmill, and good reason. Can be a little boring, but it's also a really great tool. It's a really great way to force yourself to run at a given pace, but there's definitely some tips and some tricks to know about for doing some treadmill training. So first thing is, make sure you get a warm-up in. So a lot of people, whether you have a treadmill in your basement, whether or not you're coming to the gym to use one, or going over to a friend's house, however you're doing it, you get there and you just want to get it over with, right? People hate the treadmill, so they're going to just try and get it in, get it done, and get going on with their day. Make sure you get a warm-up in. Get on the treadmill, walk for a little bit. Maybe if you're at the gym, get on the exercise bike, do something else for a little while, then get on the treadmill and start running. Don't just hop on there and get it done as quick as you can. Next piece of advice, you want to make sure to set the base of the treadmill at about a 1 or a 2% incline. When you're running outdoors, you're going to have wind resistance, you're going to have all sorts of other things. Also, there's a little bit of a different effect to the floor moving, or the base of the treadmill, versus you moving over the road. So really want to make sure that you're setting that treadmill at around a 1 or a 2% incline to get the same effect as running on level ground. So that means if you're looking at working on some hills or things like that, then you got to have that incline a little bit higher than that, as opposed to 1 or 2% being your hill and 0 being your neutral and your flat ground. The other thing is, watch out, make sure you're not holding on to these arms on the side of the treadmill. So treadmill's got those arms on the side. It's convenient if you feel like you're going to lose your balance, or you're hopping on and off, but not something to be holding on to while you're running. Your arms are what keep you balanced and keep you in the right mechanics while you're running. So make sure that you're moving your arms while you're running, so don't hold on to the side of the treadmill. The other thing is, make sure you don't have a weird lean. So people will tend to do a couple things when they're on a treadmill. One of the things people will tend to do is they're going to tend to lean very far forward, maybe even like leaning on the front of the treadmill or something like that, but you really want to make sure you're standing upright and you're standing straight. The opposite is, you'll see a lot of people kind of like leaning back a little bit, especially if you're on a little bit of an incline, but people start to lean back a little bit on the treadmill because, the way I explain it, there's a part of your brain that is saying, hey, don't run into this really big thing in front of you. So it sees the screen in front of you and it wants to make you, stop before you run into it. So really just make sure you're standing upright, a little bit of forward lean, but not kind of like sticking your butt back, staying up nice and tall with it, and making sure you're not doing the opposite and leaning backwards. Treadmill is a great tool to work on and build your cadence. So use it as such. So it's a great way to have a metronome going or something else going in the background, music going that's at a specific cadence. So remember, when it comes to running, cadence is king. Really, if you're looking on this off season, improving your performance for next year, get in on improving that cadence. You'll see a really big difference, really, big carryover into next season. Those are our tips for running on the treadmill. Any questions, anything you're interested in, please definitely reach out. Let us know. We're having a good time doing these videos for you guys, but we love it when they're on stuff you're really interested in. So that's all. Justin Feldman, Feldman Physical Therapy and Performance. We'll see you back here next week.